And it is a Friday morning, Daybreak Nevada, where Nevada comes to talk the last day of total lockdown for businesses in the state of Nevada, though I'm sure a lot of businesses wanted to see more about what the governor said yesterday. State Assemblyman District 33, John Ellison, is with us. John, you heard a lot of this, and I know you had some of the same connectivity problems we did there. Tell us your gut feeling as to what the governor said yesterday.
By the way, good morning.
Thank you.
The thing that I see is, that they opened it partially to some of the businesses, but there's still pretty good, strong restrictions. They got to wear masks, they got to do this. Restaurants has got to have, the servers and the bus people have to wear masks. But the thing that got me was with the beauty salons, they're going to allow them to open, but they got to have dividers in there, and they still have to have separations. They still got to wear gloves and masks. But the worst one to me, out of all, was these small casinos and restaurants. Even though you could divide the restaurant totally off, you can't open at all. So these little mom and pop casinos and coffee shops, they can't open at all.
And a number of the bars, I guess they're going to allow some of them to open partially for food service only, but the bars are going to stay closed so they can have food service at tables spaced out. I mean, I understand some of this. I get some of this. There's a lot of concern, and we can see what happens in counties like Humboldt. We think it can't come to small counties. Well, it did. And, I want to say that it's a first step, and let's see where it goes from here.
Well, I agree, and I'm glad that he listened to the recommendations of the committee that was formed. I'm really happy that he listened to a lot of them and the complaints that we're hearing. So I'm happy he did do that. They are going to be watching some of these businesses, make sure that they don't go out of guidelines that was presented. But he said in about 10 days they're going to take another look, and then in 15 days they'll take another look. But we've got to get the state open, or I've got people calling me and said, hey, this just got cut, that just got cut. And I said, I agree. Ely, I don't know if you know that Ely lost the downtown project.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. So that's coming your way, too. It's they're diverting what monies are in any division and departments back to the state to try to keep the state up and running.
I mean, it's like we're talking about here. They're planning on the city of Ely, and we spoke with the mayor just yesterday, just Wednesday, and we were talking about they're planning on a 14% revenue cut, which for a town like the size of Ely, it's damaging. It's horrible.
Yes. And you got some already wanting to do a special session. They still got to all go to Carson and maybe stay in their offices. I don't know, but they're asking for special session. And when I hear that, I hear, is there going to be a big hit on the revenues of the state? What they're going to do? They're going to looking at new tax revenues? I don't know, but that could be dangerous.
Well,
and one thing I will not support is them looking at a state tax. They'll still have to go back and change the Constitution, but stuff like that, when you start hearing them, that scares me.
And I talked to Mark Amadei and a few days ago, and one of the things he was saying is that in Washington, you can't have face-to-face meetings. It's just next to impossible. So, do you think that they could try to do any sort of virtual state legislature, virtual meetings? Because, we're seeing that on the state and county level, and the city and county level. Do you think they might try Zoom meetings for the state legislature?
Well, it's possible, and they can do it legally, because we got the capability to do it. But the problem is, you go for a vote, it'd have to be a roll call vote. And you know how long that'd take?
It'll take a
You'd
while.
have to call every vote, and everybody they'd have to call the name, and you'd say yay or nay. And there's a lot of people in that room.
And there are lots of ways that things have to be done. I understand the virility of this virus, but how are you going to kill people? You're going to kill people, with the virus, or you're going to kill them by starving them?
Well, you already see where they're rationing meat now.
Yeah, well, because they can't get it out the slaughterhouse.
That's right. And it's going to get worse. And I've been saying this from day one when they closed that first slaughterhouse down, and they turned all them tomatoes over. I said, you haven't seen nothing yet. You let them get into the food chain. Now you can, whoever controls the body, the stomach, will control the mind. It's one of the most dangerous things you can have to a country.
State Assemblyman John Ellison, Assembly District 33. I know it's been a little early. We haven't had a chance to hear from a lot of your people, but have you heard any immediate reaction from any of your fellow Republicans yet?
Right off, even before it was over. My phone was ringing. I have to run outside and listen and come back in. But yeah, some of the small casinos said, it's not worth opening up a small restaurant, even though they got rooms, motel rooms. It's just too rough for them to do that. And but he said no casino associated with food can open at all.
That's not good. I mean,
yeah.
we still got lots of great restaurants. There in Elko, we got several good restaurants here in Ely that are open right now through drive up, pick up, and all that. But
that's right.
Really, where do you think we go from here? I've heard talk of people trying to step up the recall attempt against the governor. And I don't know that could succeed at all at this point in time, because how are you going to get the signatures? But, do you think that this is going to have political implications for him in 2 years?
Well, I'm sure it will. I mean, you already seen some of the polls. That, I'm glad he's doing what he did, but I think anytime you have something like this going on, if you're good or bad, no matter who is sitting in that seat right now, it's hard to try to put this state back up on its feet. It could be disastrous. So I would not want to be in that position right now. And I spend probably 70% of my day on the phone or people in my office with concerns what's going on, because it's affecting their business or their livelihood, and you still can't get unemployment for 90% of these people. So it's interesting. But he did say something pretty interesting. I don't know if you caught this at the very end, and that was about the people that says, look, we're not going to go back to work because they're making more money by not working than they were at work. So some of them are getting $1,000 paycheck a week, where they're probably making $400 or $500 a week. And the culinary union people says they want all these restrictions. That could be a grenade in a room.
Yeah, and he said he would actually look at trying to do something about that.
He said if they did not want to go back to work, then they would look at trying to look and see if they can actually take off their unemployment.
It's going to be an interesting time. State Assemblyman John Ellison, Assembly District 33, here with us this morning. John, have yourself a great day. We'll talk again soon.
Hey, thank you, and maybe you can go sit down and have a breakfast somewhere tomorrow.
Well, not
or no, you got to wait till Saturday.
Yeah, I got to wait till the weekend. Yeah. Anyway, thank you, John. Daybreak Nevada continues now, where Nevada comes to talk.